Roxel Industries presents an introduction to modular assault vehicles. This is Serge David, and without further ado, let us begin the garage orientation. Let's start out by going over the top bar and then moving down from there. The first item is energy, which indicates the power generation in use for your build. Certain parts, such as generators in some chassis and cockpits, generate energy, while other parts use the energy to function. Your M.A.V will still operate when it is underpowered, but at diminished functionality. The next item is the total weight your chassis can handle. A M.A.V that is overcumbered will not be able to load, as safety mechanisms in the chassis will prevent you from launching into battle with it. It also voids the chassis warranty. Next on the top bar we have movement speed, which is affected by the chassis' base speed, the extra energy you have, and leftover weight. This means that adding parts until you reach the weight limit isn't always the best choice, as the extra movement speed could be vital depending on how you build your mech. Finally, we come to the row of icons, which I will expand now. Of course, we've already covered energy generation. The next one is the cockpit orientation, which requires your cockpit to be facing upward and forward. If the cockpit is not facing this direction, it will be highlighted in transparent yellow. The next one is parts colliding, which will be very easy to tell, as the parts that are in collision will be transparent red. Next one is weapons assigned to a group. That way you cannot launch into battle without your weapons being assigned, because that is always frustrating. Finally, we've already talked about the weight limit. Now we'll get into the main garage interfaces with the pre-selected garage sections. As you can see, we have garage, weapons, and paint. In the garage section, we are able to modify our build as well as saving and loading. As you can see here, we have the default build right now, and what I'm planning to do with it is to go and add a third weapon group. Before I do that though, I would like to go and show off the ability to move things around. You can go and use Q and E, which is next and previous group, to orientate the parts that you're currently holding, as well as the other movement options listed below. Another cool trick is using these things, such as rotating your camera. So if there's a lot of connection parts in the way, you can go and rotate so that there's very few. And the other things mentioned on the screen. So let us start by rotating this generator, and I'm going to lock it so that I don't unselect it, and I'm going to rotate it. This is only rotation based on the part that's currently selected, and only weapons will rotate forward and backwards. They will not rotate any other way. So keep that in mind, especially with weapons like landmines. So let us first change our chassis. Go pick up cockpit, set that to the side, and put on down a nice inverse, so we have a bit more weight to play with. And the next thing we're going to do is, I feel like having some machine guns, and I'm going to go and place them on here. And let's duplicate it. And since we have a little bit of weight left over, what energy generation is just under, I'm going to see about placing there we go. Now that we've built our new M.A.V, we need to go and assign those weapons. And we'll go over to the weapon group tab. And as you can see, we already have 2 groups assigned, both the cannons and the rockets. So we'll go to group 3 and we'll assign the machine guns. Please note that a M.A.V does not have auto correction, so the location of weapons on the build, along with their firing order in the weapon group, makes a difference, especially with high caliber weapons such as sniper rifles and cannons. A weapon group could have anywhere from pinpoint accuracy to useless except at point blank range. This part, however, will be covered in another video. Finally, we move on to paint. And here it's pretty self-explanatory. Of course, I've backed at Alpha, so I had the Alpha Gold as well as Alpha Silver. Hopefully people who back at the upcoming beta level will get something along Bronze, or my personal favorite that I'm trying to get Cyber to do is Cardboard. I want Cardboard. So we'll go and just get a nice simple pattern. If the color is not being selected, just go and click on the color to go and select it. So let's go and make a lovely little coloration, paint our M.A.V, and then we will save it and then load in something else. And that will be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have fun playing M.A.V. I gotta do that. Thank you for watching.